Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. What's up, boys? What's up, boys and girls? Oh man, what's going on, guys? Happy Saturday morning, bros and girls. What's going on, everybody? What is going on? Oh man, the sneeze model, chat. The sneeze. Oh shit, the sneeze model. The sneeze model is undefeated, by the way, chat. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I am a little sleepy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, chat. What the heck? I gotta sneeze again. Yo, that's crazy. All right, let me put out that we're live on YouTube. Let me put out the notice real quick, chat. Let me put out the notice, the notice. All right. Can you guys hear that music? Just a little light background music real quick while we get set up for today's free sessions. Live now on YouTube. Chat, if you're not already in the Discord, man, I don't know what I gotta tell you, but we got free Discord, we got paid Discord, but make sure you get into the Discord. There's so much free value in there just to be in there. Chances to win giveaways, chart markups, community, everything you need, really. All right, let's get this up. Here we go. Let's go, man. Let's let it fill up. Let's let it fill up. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Guys, I need some likes, man. I need some likes. Let's get the energy going. I know it's early and you guys are here studying on a Saturday. That means you guys are ready to learn and lock in. Let's see if we can get 100 likes in here. Let's get 100 people in and then we get 100 likes and then we can start up. We can start it up, man. We could start it up. We're going to talk about this trade that we took on Thursday. We're going to talk about that Thursday trade, and then we can start talking about other trade setups. We can talk about the week ahead, the outlook on the week. We can talk about some Q&A stuff, some psychology stuff. So we're going to get a lot done today. Not even love. You know what I'm really bad at, though, chat? I'm trying to figure out, like, where YouTube Studio is with this thing. Like, where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, I got it. I got it. You like that thumbnail? If you're in the Discord, you understand the thumbnail. If you're not in the Discord, you're probably very confused. Oh, man. Okay. All right, man. Let's get it. Let's go, man. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Happy to have you guys here. Chat is still starting to fill up. We're about 82 people in the stream so far. Actually, how many people are in the stream right now? Why is this thing all bugged out? Why is this thing all bugged out, bro? All right, we got 133 in here, dude. This is bugged. Okay, yeah. Sorry. 133 people, man. Thank you guys so much for showing up to the live stream today. Honestly, 133 people are taking their education serious, man. And it's one thing that honestly a lot of new traders, a lot of intermediate traders, they just don't want to put the work in, bro. They want to be spoon-fed the recipes. They want to show up on Tuesday morning in the live trading floor and they just want to copy what I'm doing. And at the end of the day, man, you're never ever going to become an independent thinker or independent trader because you don't know what the hell's going on. And long term, man, let me tell you something. Long term, you're just wasting your time. The more that you can learn the models, the more that you can educate yourself on the models, on the market, the charting sessions, the backtesting sessions, the journaling, the Q&As, the more you're going to become a sponge to learn this market and really set yourself up for the future. So it blows my mind why people will not do that. But again, hey, you know, that's just the way the world is now, man. It's a spoon feed world, man. Everybody wants something and they don't want to put any work in for it. So I salute you guys for showing up and wanting to put the work in this morning. So, if you guys are completely new here, welcome to the live stream. My name is PJ Trades, and I have been trading for coming on my 10th year of trading, coming up in literally January. And I started in the Forex industry, transitioned into options, went from options to gold, went from gold to silver, went from silver to, I don't even remember at that point. I think I went into crypto, and then I found a home in futures in about 2020, learned ICT principles through the 2022 mentorship, and then took that and basically brought it into my own unique style of trading and, you know, started my community in December 2024, and it just extremely exploded. So glad to have you guys here. And today we are going to just get some what I call dirty work done. I like to go back to the charts after a trading week and look at some of the best possible scenarios there was, some of the scenarios maybe we missed, some of them that we took, and just really, I like to, this is called a tune-up for me. Every Saturday is a tune-up day. Like, if I don't trade on Friday, which I did not trade Friday, Saturday gets me back in balance with the market and ready for Monday or Tuesday, depending on the news. So this is a tune-up day, and a lot of you guys need to use this for you know, for learning purposes. And this is a learning day for me too, man. I always like to go back and kind of mark up the charts, mark up the setups, go through them, because I am still a student of the game, bro. Like, if you're not constantly evolving as a trader, you're not gonna get better. And it's the same concept in anything you do in life, whether it's sports, business, school. You got to put the work in. You got to keep, you know, sharpening your skill set. So, thank you so much for being here. So this is what I'm going to talk about right now, because I think this might have been one of the best trade setups of the week for us personally. And we're going to talk about this right now. So this was our Thursday trade that netted us 98 points. Some people got a little bit more out of it. Went 121, I think, full. But I want to speak about why this trade was so powerful. And we can kind of break down why this setup worked and why we took a counter trend trade short in a very, very bullish market. So if you guys can, please, before we go into the trade review, just tap that like screen. We have almost 171 people here. I would love to get more likes because it helps the YouTube algorithm, you know, send this out to more people, and we'll get down into the breakdown. Oh, man. I got to tell you guys about Thursday night, because Thursday night was fun. Thursday night was a lot of fun. Thursday night was a lot of fun. All right. So here's the trade setup from Thursday. I'm going to delete all this stuff now just so you guys, actually, you know what? I'm going to move over to NQ over here. We're going to break it down like this. I'm going to go through it exactly the way I would see it in real time, because I think that's the best way to learn. Okay. So on the 15-minute time frame, you can see that this market puts in a very, very, very big AMD model, right? We have an accumulation right here. We have the manipulation leg right here. And then you get this distribution. Now, this is a tricky ass day because this is not a true AMD model. If this was a true AMD model, this would have been the distribution leg and it would have went even higher and higher and higher, but it did not. It actually failed here. And this is where it becomes being a professional trader and knowing a lot of times that the market will end up doing this. This is a very tricky market to trade and you got to be on your toes here. So normally you'd be looking for an AMD, right? This would be the accumulation phase. Okay. This would be the manipulation phase. And like I just said, this would be a distribution phase, but that's not what happens, right? It's not what happens. What happens is this market ends up here's the first clue that happens. The market ends up putting an SMT at the highs. Okay. Let me show you here. I believe we had SMT at the highs, or am I talking about a different trade setup? Well, let me mark out the 1 hour fair value gap because that was a big clue here because we did the 1 hour fair value gap. We looked at that for a rejection. I believe we had SMT. Did we not have SMT on this trade, chat? I might be thinking about a completely different day here. Was it 4 hour SMT? No. Okay, maybe this trade did not have SMT. All right. I'm thinking of a different trade, but this one did not have SMT. This was a delivery out of a 4 hour FEG right here and a 1 hour FEG. Okay. So we get into this 1 hour gap and we start to get a really, really nasty rejection out of it. Okay. That's the first clue that we're looking to see how this candle is going to close. We jump onto the 15-minute time frame, right? And we get a nice, this is what really, like, you guys got to really kind of pick up on this stuff too, because it happens so quickly. But if you could look at the 15-minute candle closure here, what do you guys see that's very interesting in this close? What do you guys see that's very similar in this close here? Not similar, but what do you find very interesting in the way these are closing? Yeah, below CE. So that tells me that the bulls don't have the clearest control. And now you're probably saying to yourself, well, look we flipped the 15-minute gap here, Paul, but why are we even looking to take this short here? Well, it's a good question. The issue is this 15-minute fair value gap is now trumped by this 1 hour gap. Do you understand that concept? This 15-minute gap is trumped by this gap. This is a higher time frame PD array, which is going to be stronger. So it's going to have a higher grading, right? It's like S tier versus B tier or A tier down here. So the 1 hour gap gets tapped into, right? Let's delete this. Let's not confuse ourselves. And then we get a nice rejection block out of there. So here's what really starts to give away the setup coming. Whenever you see the market engineering all crap like this. Now, if you guys have not been in the trading floor, we have actually implemented something that I think is very powerful. We started using Bookmap to locate where multiple orders are going to be resting within the market, combined with ICTs, relative equal highs, relative equal lows, PD arrays, stuff like that. To me, this might be one of the most powerful new weapons that I've started utilizing. So we end up picking up that the Bookmap has a ton of orders resting down here. Now, this lines up with relative equal lows at the same time. And when you have that combination, chat, it's kind of like having wall hacks. Okay? Because now we have relative equal lows, and Bookmap is telling us that we have a lot of orders resting here. So it's very, very important. This is like this gives us a lot of guidance. Now, I don't even need to use Bookmap to tell you that there's a lot of orders resting here because of how many relative equal lows have been built up. Okay? So that gives us our first draw on liquidity with this idea forming, right? We have this area here to draw into, okay? And what we also have is this 5-minute unmitigated gap to draw into right below the relative equal lows. Whenever I see stuff like this, it's usually high probability that the market wants to draw into it, okay? So this market, if we're going to get a trade set up, it's going to run it's going to run from all the way up here, slam relative equal lows, tap the 5-minute gap, and then make a decision on what it wants to do. Okay? Now, this is when we start to get a trade setup idea. We're delivering out of a 1-hour gap. We're delivering out of a 1-hour bearish fair value gap. Don't forget it. Okay? And now we're looking to target these relative equal lows in this 5-minute gap fill if we get an inversion play, a breaker play, a unicorn out of this area. Okay? Is everyone understanding that? Are we comfortable with all this so far? Type 1 if you're understanding that part. Understanding the kind of the structure and how we're building this trade. Okay. Okay. Good. So now the market ends up printing a little bit higher into that 1-hour bearish gap, but still bodies of the candles are closing below the gap. Okay. Still a good sign. Market puts in bullish 1-minute FEG. Let me delete this. Okay. Puts in that 1-minute bullish FEG. Now, another clue, chat. More relative equal lows here. Another clue. Now, when I like to take trade setups, I need this stuff. You want to know why? It's going to protect us. The reason being is, if we can have a relative equal low or high to draw into, and it's pretty close to where our entry is, maybe 5, 10, 15 points, it's going to allow us to, one, get a scale position off and or go break even and protect the trade very quickly, right? So this is like a perfect little guiding tool to keep us safe if we get into this trade. You guys understand this concept here? Nobody really teaches this because I don't know why, but when we have these lower draws, it's going to give us so much protection in the trade. Okay? So now we go inverse here. And we retest. Boom. Look how clean this looks. This is what I'm trying to teach here. This is like the bread and butter. Inverse, right? Inverse 1-minute FEG. Clean relative equal lows to draw into where I can literally go break even if we get it. Okay? Entry model will look like this. And now this is a cheap ass trade. You run the stop below the swing high. And you run the TP down to here and possibly extend it down into this 5-minute gap here, which we did. Because I was looking at the full fill right here at the 5-minute gap. Okay? Now, like I said, having these relative equal lows is a protection for us. It's an added confluence, but it's also protection because once we get there, what do? Once we get here, what do, chat? What are we doing at that relative equal low there? We're going, what are we doing on that relative equal low? Break even. Exactly. That's why that is a huge help to these models because you're gonna protect capital, which is the #1 priority that we have. And then the trade's going to go risk-free, and you could likely even scale there too if you want to, right? Because that's now almost a 20-point trade right there at that break-even. So this gives us like super protection, okay? So the trade goes break-even here, and then it's literally just about trusting your draws on liquidity. I get asked this question all the time. Well, how do you hold the trade so long? We got the bookmap knowledge. It's telling us there's massive orders down here. 2, with ICT and the way that we've learned how to trade, we have relative equal lows down there. And we have an unmitigated 5-minute bullish gap that likely wants to get drawn into because the relative equal lows rest only a couple points above the gap. Like that's the confluence. That's all you need. That's all you need to understand on the draw. And then we trust the draw. And as we're trading, guys, if you're not doing this stuff, then you're probably have anxiety. But here's what really should not be giving you any anxiety. Watch what you need to do with your 1-minute gaps and all your gaps while you're trading. Here's a 1-minute bearish gap. What are we doing here in this gap, chat? What are we doing now in this bearish gap? What are we doing now in this 1 minute gap, chat? Respecting it. Respecting it, right? Respecting bearish order flow. Draw out your gaps. Because when you're in a trade, this is going to allow you to hold the trades for longer. What you don't want to see here, is this flip. You don't want to see that. You don't. But because we're not flipping, what do you know? Hold your trade. It's not time to get out of this trade yet. Bearish order flow is being respected. The bulls don't have any control yet on this leg, and we still have a lower draw. And then boom, full displacement and a massive 100-point, 98-point trade. It went a little bit deeper, 128 points, but we got 98 out of the trade because I was looking for this market. Excuse me, I gotta blow my nose. To bounce into this 5 minute gap. Okay? Give me 1 second, let me get a tissue. So you see how that works there, guys? You see how that works? You understand why the trade is taken? Do we understand why the trade was taken? Do we understand why we took the trade? Do we understand, like, you have to understand all the key components to understand how to make money in this market. Like, you got to get these little intricate, delicate things done. I'm going to actually show you more sauce on this trade leg that gave us even more confirmation. But on the lower time frames, man, you got to really become like a surgeon and read this stuff in real time. Because that price action trading will make you the most amount of money. Price action trading will make you the most amount of money. No indicator, no robot, nothing will make you the amount of money you can make if you can read pure price action. This is what price action trading looks like. Now, I want to show you guys what gives us even more confirmation on this trade leg. And we were marking this out in real time as well. We get a 5 minute bearish FEG flip. So now we have a 5 minute inverse. Combo that with everything else we have. We already know we still can hold the trade. And then a 15 minute bearish, a 15 minute inverse right here as well. So now we are disrespecting bullish order flow, a 5 minute inverse, a 15 minute inverse. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of more sauce here. There is another entry model that you could have taken on this trade. And a lot of people that maybe missed this leg up here, there's going to be 2 more opportunities to take this trade. Okay? I'm going to give you guys the 2 more opportunities to take the trade. Okay? Here's going to be trade number trade number 2, sorry. Trade number 2 is going to be this trade right here. Okay? Trade number 2 is going to be a straight up 5 minute inverse. Now, let's say that you didn't identify the first trade that I gave you. Let's say you didn't identify that one, okay? The next one would be this 5 minute inverse. Okay, this 5 minute inverse would be your next opportunity to short this market. Okay, so it would look like this. Now, I'd probably run a stop just above this 5 minute bearish gap. Chat, why? Why would I run this stop the way it is? I want you guys to answer this question. I don't want to answer this one for you. Why am I running the stop right there if I'm trading this as a 5 minute inverse trade? I got to get you guys a little bit more involved here. So I want you guys to answer some Q&As here. Potential retest. If the 5 minute gap is invalidated, then the idea is wrong. That's also correct. Potential retest is right. Change in the state is not correct. 5 minute gap fill is correct. You guys are getting that right. Risk to reward, sort of. That's always a part of it. PA shouldn't come back to the fair value gap. That's incorrect. It can come back to the fair value gap, and you want to see it respect the gap, though. There's a lot of correct answers, and there's a lot of incorrect answers. The stop is too wide. That's also incorrect. The gap candle, yeah, around avoid, yeah. Okay, so the correct answers, there's a bunch of correct answers here. 1, the market can come back into this 5 minute bearish gap and respect it. Okay. The market can come back into this 5-minute gap, bearish gap, retest it and go. Okay. You do not want to see this market from here slam this 5-minute order block, bounce, inverse. You're in a lot of trouble. So your stop needs to be above that 5-minute. You don't want to see that 5-minute go inverse to the upside because then you're in trouble. Because now you're looking at a very strong bullish play here off the 5-minute breaker. Don't want to see that. Okay. So this is why this stop runs right above the 5-minute. This could come back. It could come back. Ready? Never does though on this situation. Never does. Okay. But it could come back. It could come back, tap it, and then still go. So we have to give it breathing room. And this is not a wide stop by any means. This is a 15-point stop, bro. To make 57 points, that's a juicy 1 to 3.75 RR trade. That's a good setup. That's a good, solid setup. Okay. So that would be setup idea number 2 on this leg. And then there's one more setup that you guys could take, and it's the 15-minute inversion. Okay. Now watch how the difference in this one is. This one's actually going to get a retest. All right. Here's a 15-minute inversion. Okay. Oops. I want to delete this little line here. Okay. Here's a 15-minute inverse chat. And now this trade would look like this. Now, this one's going to be a little bit different because you're waiting on a 15-minute candle closure. And the RR is going to be a little worse because you're going to have to run this stop from here. Entry would be here on the 15-minute candle closure. And then it would be above the 15-minute candle. So you're running a 26-point stop. And you'd be running, the RR on this would probably not make sense. To relative equal lows, it's only a 1.2. To the fair value gap, it's about just under 1 to 2 if you get it at 50 points. Okay. So in my opinion, the setup number 1 and setup number 2 are going to be your best RR trades. This is going to be probably your highest confluence because you flip the 15-minute gap now. And then this trade you're going to see the retest happen. Actually, it might already happen on the lower time frames. There's the retest of the 15-minute gap right here. And then you could short this here. Now you could have waited for the 15-minute to get tapped for a retest to increase the RR here. It's like a 20-point stop. And now you're running a clean 1 to 2, basically at the relative equal lows. Bada bing, bada boom. So 3 chances to short this trade idea. And the reason that you get 3 chances is because you get 3 confluences. You get a 1-minute inverse, a 5-minute inverse, a 15-minute inverse. And then the last and final thing is you have the relative equal lows to draw on into. So this is super clean, man. When the draw is clear, the trade ideas are going to be clean. That's what trading looks like. That's what pure price action trading looks like. Do we have any questions? Do you have any questions about that trade idea and model? 3 chances to short that on Thursday. You're married to your bias. Yeah, see, that is a very, very good. It's not good. It's bad, number 1, to ever be married to a bias. But it's something that I really teach to my students, that I used to have that same mindset where I was married to a bias. I never do that anymore. People say, Paul, what's your bias for the week? PJ, what's your bias for the week? I'm like, dude, I do not care. I am waking up, marking my levels inside of my kill zone, and I'm reacting to what price gives me. I don't give a crap what the market does. We make money any way it goes, right? So do not be married to a bias. React to what the chart is telling you. This is a great example of a beautiful reactionary trade, right? This market is bullish. It's bullish, but the structure here is forming for a very clean reversal trade and counter trend trade, and I have to react to that. That's how you make money. You don't get stuck to a bias because, you know, these gurus tell you to get stuck to biases. Don't do that, man. You're going to get hurt more often than not. Well, what grade do you give this setup? This is a very, very strong A setup, A+ setup. And there's multiple confluences in it. Very, very strong trade. This is the one that we took in the Discord, which made us 98 points. This was a great opportunity to short a 5-minute and then a 15-minute opportunity here. So 3 ways to trade it. In my opinion, the grading would go A+, A+, And then the 15-minute would have been a little bit lower of a grade because the RR is a little bit more chalked. So I'd make like an A trade, A minus for the 15-minute flip. Just gets a little dicier. Yeah, for real. Is that a unicorn at the top? It is a unicorn. No, sorry. It's not a unicorn. No. Not a unicorn. That's not a clean unicorn. That's not a clean breaker for me. I wouldn't even mark it out. When you want to mark out breaker blocks, guys, you want like smooth edges. So you want high, low, higher, high, lower, low. This doesn't have that principle. There's really no high, low. Like I wouldn't even mark it out. What's a good stop loss average? I try to keep my stops anywhere from 20 to 40 points being like the biggest I like to go. And if it's a 40-point trade, a 40-point stop loss, it's more than likely a higher time frame trade I'm taking, maybe like a 5-minute inverse, a 15-minute inverse, something like that. But I like to keep it like these 20, 25, 30-point stops are like my bread and butter, basically. Was there a liquidity sweep? Yeah, right here is your liquidity sweep, bro. Right into the 1-hour bearish fair value gap. So that's your manipulation, sweeping all of this liquidity here into the 1-hour bearish gap, okay? And then displacing lower off of it. So your sweep is basically also being swept into a PD array. Those are my favorite trade setups, man. We love trading. If you guys are in my Discord, you know that most of our banger trades deliver out of a higher time frame PD array. Like, I want to show you guys a trade that we took. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find this trade. We took this trade on 8-8. I'm going to show you this trade. I want to show you how PD arrays are just so clean, bro. If you can waveform correctly, you're going to make a lot of money. All right, check this one out. Check this one out. Okay. I'm telling you guys, if you learn how to just wait for a PD array to get tapped into, like, look at this. You will make money. All right, so... God, I'm giving out so much free sauce. It's ridiculous. If you're not liking the stream right now, listen, we only got 43 likes. I'm literally not going to continue until we get to 100. Like, I'm giving out, people literally will charge you $7,000 for sessions for what I'm giving you on for free right now. I need 100 likes on this channel right now. Oh, we have 122 likes. All right, let's get up to 200. This is basic knowledge, Unc. Yeah. Are you profitable? Are you full-time? Do you have multiple payouts from a prop firm? If it's basic knowledge, everyone would be rich, right? Everyone would be millionaires. But it might be basic knowledge to you, but it's not basic knowledge to most people, brother. Okay. So, here's what we're looking at, right? This is our trade setup from August 8th, right? This market is setting up beautifully for a beautiful internal to external move. Okay, I'm looking for higher prices up into this gap here, and I'm waiting for the market to tap into this 1-hour FEG. Okay, so here we go. Now, this is where the patience comes, guys. A lot of traders are getting chopped up in this box here. They're getting absolutely destroyed in this box because they're trying to predict the market without a liquidity sweep. Do you guys understand how the importance of that is? This is where a lot of rookie traders are getting chopped, and the professionals are just waiting for a tap of a gap to go. Okay? Yeah, we're at 154 likes. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Thank you. Okay? So this is the area, guys, where you need to just be patient and you need to just notice that there's a 1-hour gap resting below. And we're waiting for this to get tapped into. I don't know why this just fast forwarded, but it did. So look, here we go. Patience, 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 patience. Boom. Now I'm starting to get interested. We're inside the 1 hour gap. Now, can we get a V-shaped recovery? Boom. V-shaped recovery. Okay. Now, 1 hour fair value gap. V-shape. Very strong strength. Okay. 1 minute inverse fair value gap here. 1 minute inverse fair value gap here. Okay. Why is this trade? What is the next thing we're looking for, chat? What's the next thing we're looking for, guys? We have a V shape. We have a 1 hour PD array. We have an inverse. What am I looking for now? Nope. 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 Dennis Sheplovsky. Dennis, send me a DM. Send me a DM on Discord, bro. You just won a 50K My Fund of Futures account. Dennis Sheplovsky. You just won a My Fund of Futures 50K account for answering this correctly. Dennis, send me a DM on Discord. Screenshot your name, please. Send me a direct message. You just won yourself a 50K. We need draws on liquidity. Okay. Where can I get my stops to break even on this trade? Where can I go stops to break even on this trade? Holy crap. Triple relative equal highs right there. That's going to be our first draw. This is going to be our second draw. This is going to be our third draw, and anything above that is just icing on the cake. Okay? So here we go. Inverse. How do we take the trade setup? Boom. Flip. Stops below the bullish gap because it could tap back into here, and I don't want to see it inverse it. So stops will be right below it. Okay? And we are targeting a solid 1 to 2. I thought the DOL already established before waiting for a retest. The DOL is established, but I need to know inside of the leg where the lower time frame DOLs are so I can get my stops to break even and scale. Understand? Okay. So, flip. Go. Entry. BE. Targets. Bada bing, bada boom. Full TP. Another clean trade, but the sauce is the PD array, chat. The 1 hour PD array. You need this gap. You need this gap. Stop getting torched in this range here. Stop getting torched in this range, bro. This right here, if you get anything out of today's session, this is the range where people are getting chopped. This is where the full move delivers out of, and you catch the entire move. If you can just eliminate this right here, I bet you would eliminate 80% of your losses because you're trading chop. You're not trading delivery. Can you clarify characteristics? What allows us to recognize that we are a bit early in the rotation to take a trade for inter? Well, dude, it's so simple, man. It's really simple. This is all early. There's no rotation here, right? Yes, we get a breakout leg. Yes, we get displacement, but this is still early because the 1 hour gap didn't fill yet and never got filled, right? This is the breakout, okay? This is the 1 hour breakout leg. Now we put in a 1 hour FEG after this candle closes, and now I need to get back down into this gap. So you can eliminate your early rotation trading by just waiting for the gap to get touched. Literally, that's how simple it can be. If you just eliminate that right there, I'm telling you, you eliminate so many of your losses, guys. And this takes patience. This takes patience. You know how long this trade took to develop? 1144. At the final macro of my session, we were in this trade. This took us to 11:44. Like, that's 2 hours of waiting around. That's what true trading is. It's a waiting game. It's boring, and you have to wait for certain factors to line up. What if the gap never fills? What do you mean the gap never fills? So right here on the, you could just take this trade on the break. You could trade it on the break or the retest, but no, sometimes the retest doesn't happen. So the break will be fine. Just make sure you're sizing accordingly on the break. There was also a 30-second inverse, Max. Yes, there was. I have that in my trade review on Discord. You're not going to get anything past me, bud. But yes, that was also opportunity number one. But let me tell you something. That's the early rotation opportunity. Because if you take the 30-second flip here, right, you're front running the 1 minute gap, which trumps the 30-second. Okay. So the 30-second is great, but know that you're now front running the 1 minute gap right above there. And this can get really ugly if that happens. So the true trade displacement and clarity is the 1 minute flip. Okay. The 30-second is there, right? But you're front running the 1 minute. Just know that. So the higher probability trade is going to be the 1 minute flip. My favorite macro times, I really love the 1050 to 1110 macro lately, man. It's been absolutely a printing press for us. I love that macro. That's been my favorite one, the 1050 to 1110 macro, man. It's been such a great one. This was August 8th, guys. August 8th. I'm just reviewing some of our past trade ideas and setups. Dennis, I got your DM, bro. I'll get you hooked up later after the stream for sure, man. Guys, listen, if you answer questions quickly and promptly here, man, I give away accounts like they're M&Ms. We got a lot of accounts to give away, man. We're partnered up with the best firms in the business, and we love giving back to the community. So as long as you guys are learning and you're here, never know when I'm going to give away accounts. I do it all the time in the premium group. These guys win accounts for answering the dumbest questions. I'll just be, oh, you want an account? DM me. So in what scenario do you implement a retest and not just the inversion solo? Great question, man. It's about the speed of the break. It's about the speed of the break. If we're delivering aggressively out of here with V-shaped property and we're aggressively flipping gaps, you got to kind of read it in the price closures like, oh man, this is aggressive. I might not get a retest here. Okay. And you got to kind of make that decision as a trader. There's no right or wrong way to trade the breaks. Some people just trade the straight break. Some people wait for the retest. I trade both ways. Sometimes you can see it in the candle closures. I can see it in the volume coming in on the DOM. I can see it, we have the bookmap knowledge now too. It's really all going to be up to the trader. But personally, I like trading the break and then just sizing accordingly from there so you don't miss the trade. Can you review Friday? I did Friday at the beginning of the stream. You could probably go back and rewatch it when we're done. That was the first thing we went over was, oh no, Friday. I went over Thursday. Sorry, Friday. We didn't even take it. I wasn't here Friday. I didn't trade Friday. I got funded with 2x 150K accounts on Top Step yesterday. How would you trade them in the beginning to build a buffer and how blah, 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 blah. I would run micros in the beginning, brother. For every $500 worth of drawdown, you're going to run one micro. So depending on how much drawdown you have, just do the math until you start building a buffer up. Was there a short setup at the top? I had it set up, but didn't take it. Oh, on this day? Let's see. I didn't even look at short setups here. This is choppy, bro. Really choppy. Displacement looks like it wants to go higher. I don't remember there being a short setup here. I think the draw was just still higher. Yeah. Yeah, there's no short setups here. Anything that you do here, you're basically shorting, and you're basically shorting, obviously. Yeah, no, there's no. Long story short, there's no short setup here. TJR's new Conosec. Yeah, that thing looks crazy, dude. Hey, PJ, what do you mean sizing? Do you mean adding positions? No, man. I mean your sizing, bro. Your actual sizing of your trade. You guys need to understand your sizings, man. Your sizing is always going to be determined on the size of your stop loss, right? If I'm getting into a trade here, okay, for example, if I'm getting into a trade here and I'm going to run one mini contract right here at the buy mark and I'm going to stop loss, I need to know that this sizing is going to cost me 470. And if this is too much, you need to go drop down to micros to slash your risk in half. 5 micros then would be different, would be half of 470. So you need to know based on your stop what your sizing is going to be. Okay. So if we're running a 22-point stop, I'm running almost a $500 stop, and I'm risking 500 to make about $1,000, which is like just over 1 to 2. So 1 to 2.54. How do you calculate that fast? Dude, I've been doing it for 10 years, man. I just know my risk. I know my risk tolerance. I know how much I can scale up to. You know, I just know my numbers. You gotta know your risk tolerance, man. I kind of have just like the eyeball that I know this is gonna end up running a 20-point stop, maybe even wider. But like I know that 1 micro is gonna get me on a 20-point stop. It's gonna cost me around like $500, a little bit less than that. So that's kind of just like where I ballpark things. If we go to like a 30-point stop, obviously we're up into like the 700s. I know my sizing, and I know how many minis and micros I'm gonna use for the sizing. It's all just like repetition at this point. It's like pretty boring. I can see through the candles. That's what I'm struggling with right now. TraderVate doesn't make it obvious. I would start with lighter sizing, Andrew Scott, and really just start from there. Like run micros, you know, in the beginning to get used to it. Like your sizing and your risk tolerance before you build up a buffer. Just start with light micros. Like I said, if you have $2,000 worth of drawdown, you're going to use 4 micros. It's pretty simple. 1 micro for every $500 of drawdown in the account. Until you have more buffer. Once you get more buffer, you add more sizing. Rinse, repeat, keep building, keep building, keep building. What PD array is above? It's a 1 hour PD array, I believe, up here. Yeah, it's a 1 hour. A 1 hour PD array. And guys, I just want to show you how easy it is to trade PD arrays. Like, look how easy this market. Do you realize that this market just went internal to external like the entire month? I don't know if you guys have been realizing this, but like, look, ready? Breakout, retest, first presented 4 hour for value gap, internal, higher, pullback, first presented for value gap on the 4 hour, internal, higher. It's literally all the market does. Like, it just goes internal to external the entire time up. Watch this. Watch this. Boom. What is this right here? Another 4 hour gap on the internal side of the leg. Like, you guys don't realize how easy trading is, but you overcomplicated it because you're not looking at the higher time frames. 4 hour internal, higher, internal, higher, internal, higher. Literally. That's it. Like, just look for your internal draws and wait for them to get tapped and then take a draw out of it. Take a trade out of it. The problem is most of you guys trade in areas you shouldn't be trading. That's the true problem. This is one of my favorite trades of the month so far, the one that we took on Thursday, man. I really like this trade. This was just such a good trade. The reason why this was such a fun trade for me, because it's a counter trend trade, so it is a little bit riskier, but it's so clean. When the draw is so clean, I just love taking trades like this because a lot of people are like, well, how are you shorting this market here? I'm like, dude, it was very obvious that we needed to draw back into another internal draw. Like, this is, I don't think you understand. This is a lower time frame, right? Internal to external move. That's all it is. We're going internal 1 hour gap this way to to the external draw here and another internal on the lower time frame. So it's the same thing the higher time frames have been doing, but we're on the lower time frame catching it. PJ, if I scale, take profits, for example, a 1 to 2 RR position, then technically it's not a 1 to 2 RR position anymore. Why is that? Why would that make any sense, brother? You're still positioning your sizing for a 1 to 2 RR trade. Your sizing is still 1 to 2 RR. And you're locking in profits on the way, so you're actually protecting yourself. It's still a 1 to 2. Yeah, but now the risk is not. Yeah, but you're missing the point. The risk is not. It's no longer the risk because you already scaled the risk off. You understand? Do I usually use standard deviations? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna blow my nose. I don't know why. Okay. So do I usually use standard deviations? To be honest with you, I don't use them that often. But I do use them when I need to find confluence in where I want to get out on a counter trend trade, for example. That's why you see them on the chart here. It just gives me an idea of where we might bounce from. Now, I want to show you how crazy standard deviations are because watch where we bounce from at the -2 standard deviation. Right at -2 standard deviations. And that's literally exactly where I told people that, hey, we probably want to be fully out of here. Full TP was here. And then we had like some runners going here too, but it's 98 points right down into here. Some people scaled out at -2, which is the full 121 points. But look how accurate that -2 standard deviation is. If I don't have it on the chart there, then basically I just need to know that the 5-minute gap probably is going to be the area that we bounce from. And that's the reason why I was drawing into it in the first place. We close consequent encroachment of the 5-minute gap and then we bounce. So we're out here, man. Again, counter trend trading. We're not looking to take a absolute, like, we're not looking to take a missile down into LR, basically. We just want to get out here. This is enough of a leg. This is so much money. 98 points is insane money, chat. Like, you know what I mean? Don't overcomplicate your trade setups, man. Take what the market gives you. Get out. PJ, do you trade inversion even without fair value gap or SMT as confluent? Do you trade inversion even without a fair value gap? What? I'm confused by that one. So PJ, you have multiple entry models, correct? Not just inversion. I know you previously said no inversion, no trade, but I've also seen you take breakers. Do the breakers require inversion still? No, they're a little bit different. A little bit different. Breakers are obviously not inversion plays. They're a little bit different. They're more of a change in the state of delivery play, where you're getting a low, a high, lower, low, a higher high in its true displacement, and then waiting for the breaker to get retested to go long or short. But they don't require inversions. No, they're more of a candle pattern recognition where there's 4 key components, and that's when you're getting into the trade after those 4 key components are met, and they're delivering out of some kind of PD array. They're really strong. You know, I don't know if I can even. I don't know if we have any here. I really don't. $30 to $30, 35 points a day is good enough. Hey, man, that's even a lot of points if you think about it. If you're doing 30 points times 5 days a week, like that's a lot of money. So, I mean, we have consistently been able to return, you know, very solid week over week returns of like 100+ points every week. I'm on a 13-week win streak. My current record solo is 20. So like the market's been moving and grooving, but I've been very picky about my setups, and that's, you know, that's the reason why we're on such a high win streak. We're very, very patient. That's, you have to be patient. If you're not patient, you're just not the business to be in for you. How do you go about being a CPA, finding a CPA for taxes? I have a CPA that I use for real estate and stuff, and he's very well versed in trading. So. Is it acceptable if I didn't take the trade as it was late in the session? Why would it be unacceptable though? If you didn't take the trade, it was late in the session, it's not meeting your criteria as an independent trader. Why even ask that question? Of course it's acceptable not to take a trade. No trade is better than taking a trade that you're not comfortable with. That's just what being cash means. No trade is a position in itself, guys. So staying cash and staying flat is perfectly normal. This trade was well within macro, Fonzie. This trade that we took was a 1050 macro. It's the perfect macro, actually. What is the minimum time frame you consider higher time frame? The minimum is the 15-minute. I really like to see the 1 hour get tapped and then deliver, but the minimum is the 15-minute. Are you not worried about lack of delivery later into sessions? I am very worried about the delivery later in sessions. I don't really like to take trades later into the sessions. Like, I don't really like you barely see me take 1150 macro area. Like, that's, I really want to be done trading. This is why the 1050 to me is the best one. Best volume indicator on TradingView? I don't use volume indicators. So I can't even answer your question, Scalp. Oh yeah, well let me see this unicorn you guys are talking about on Friday. Can you guys tell me what time it was, please? So I don't have to sit here and search for it. What time was this unicorn at? That you think there's a unicorn? Was it, or was it? Paul Ignacio, where is this unicorn? And just so you guys know, a major reason why I did not trade on Friday as well was it was OPEX Friday. I hate OPEX Friday. You get a ton of contract expiring on that day, and it just really chops the way price is. It's awful. So anytime I see an OPEX Friday, try to not trade it. Just avoid it. You're better off just resetting the mental, coming back next week, and crushing it. Like, all right, so I don't know, man. This guy's saying, check out the unicorn. Where the hell is it? Right before the news at 10 a.m. All right, so we're in a fair value gap here right before the news at 10 a.m. I see no unicorns in here on the 5. 950. Oh, here we go. This is sloppy. This is extremely sloppy, dude. I wouldn't even want to mark this thing out. It's very sloppy. I'm assuming you're talking about this. This is so hard for me to even want to mark out because there's no true swing high here. It's so relatively equal to the next candle. Maybe the 30-second looks better. Talk about, oh, maybe this. 30-second down here looks decent. 30-second has a smooth high, and then a low, and then a higher high. So this is a 30-second breaker. You guys are talking about something else? This is 950. At the news. Yeah, this is it right here, guys. Okay, wait a second. So let me get this straight. You guys took a breaker with 10 a.m. news. That's what you did? And you're wondering why it didn't work? I think you guys already know the answer. You can't take a trade right before news. This is 1000% valid that it would do this. I mean, that's literally, that's the answer right there. You guys took a breaker right into a news event. Right? And then you're wondering why it doesn't work. Yeah, you took it right into consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. That's why it didn't work. That's why you got stopped. Now, if you want to protect yourself, which I tell you guys all the time, wait for the news to come out and then look for a trading opportunity. Okay? But honestly, on this, I don't really see much. Maybe you could have taken... I mean, either way, you're trading right after news here. I don't really see much. Maybe this dig in here, it's not like something I would even be like recommending to trade, but maybe that dig in there for higher. I mean, that's not a terrible idea right there. After you get the inverse to the left, right? You get that 1 minute inverse here, displaces, pulls back into a bullish gap and goes higher. That could have been appropriate. But this down here is a no touch zone. Now you have the displacement and the market actually shows you its hand, and now you could trade. But down in here, pre front running a 10 a.m. news event is just rookie trading. There's no doubt about that. KWT took the risk. Oh, well, I gotta talk to him about that. That's not good. I'm about to message him right now. Wow, you guys ratted on KWT to the boss. Honestly, you guys should have known better. You really should have known better, because I don't know how you're not listening to what I tell you and you're just doing something else. But I mean, KWT should know better though too. So I do have to maybe say, hey, listen, man, I understand. I see the breaker here, but front running news is just a no bueno. You can't take the trade. I've multiple times you guys watched me fade a very high probability trade because news was sitting right there. Wouldn't you be worried about, would you be worried about taking it long after we put in data lows anyways? Honestly, I don't think I would even be looking at this. I don't even think I'd be looking at this. I don't really think I'd be looking at this at all. This doesn't, like, on the 1 minute, it's dicey. I mean, here we inverse all the way up here. There's no RR that I would even like to take here. I don't even think I'm looking at this trade for a long. I mean, look at this price action. This is horrendous. I really, truly don't believe that I would be even engaging with that. Let me see. I don't really see anything that I personally would have liked to take here. So. And by this time, I probably on a Friday would not even been entertaining any of this. Yeah, like really nothing. You signal bots gotta start being accountable. I blew my first funded. Now I'm doing the core 50K challenge currently. It's been a week and a half and I'm $700 short of passing it. How do I approach next week? You just scale down, man. Take your time. Scale down. Scale down, man. A lot of people get light at the end of the tunnel syndrome and they try to force the $700 to trade it in one day. Bro, if it takes you a full week now to pass that $700, so be it. But just get it done. Don't rush it. Get it done. Yeah, this was horrible. I hope you guys didn't even look at this. This is the reason why I didn't even want to trade Friday too. I did have a lot of responsibilities with family but like this is really ugly. So glad I wasn't here. Do we have anybody that wants to come on live on the Discord real quick, ask some Q&A questions on the headset? It's not often that you're able to do something like this with you know a trader, so I would take advantage of it right now. If you guys want to hop on live and answer some questions, please do so. Okay. Does anybody want to hop on? Type in the Discord if you want to hop on. Or go into the trading chat, the free trading chat, and just say something maybe. I could bring you on a live call here on the chart. Maybe you want to show me a trade setup that you took. Something that didn't work, something that worked, like something that we can get educational value out of would be great. Why is there a dude advertising livestock futures in the premium chat? What? I don't see anything in the premium chat. I heard someone got a Lambo. That'd be crazy. Oh, in casual chat. What? Oh yeah, this guy's so lost. I don't know what he's talking about. He don't even bother. Check the indicator I sent. I don't use any more indicators, bro. I don't need any more indicators. Trust me on that one. Fonzie, do you want to jump on? Yeah, I don't want to talk about indicators though. I'm not interested in those. Any advice on scaling from one account to multiple accounts after successful payouts? Yeah, man. Reinvest in your businesses. Reinvest in that firm. Wherever you got that payout, reinvest in another account and scale up into your max funding, and then do the same thing on multiple other firms. Fonzie's gonna jump on. All right, I'll send you a call right now. I'm not using Trader Syncer now. I don't copy trade all my firms. I just copy trade the firm and rotate. it's, in my opinion, very dangerous to copy trade all your accounts at once. You're like very overexposed. Fonzie, I'm calling you right now, brother. How would you plan for next week trading? Next week's, I didn't even look at the week yet, bro. Yo, what's up, Fonzie? Can you hear me? What's up, buddy? I can hear you. Okay. Okay. Hold on one second. Can you say something? Yeah, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta get you on the audio real quick. Say something now. A couple of stuff.
Testing, testing.
Yeah, they can hear you. You guys can hear him now? Say some more stuff, Fonzie. Keep going. Keep yapping.
Yeah. Yeah, so 9:35, I believe.
Okay. Yep, you're good. Yeah. You're good. All right, so what do you got going on here?
So it's come up and tapped fair value gap with an order block from London, I believe it was.
So you're shorting this big 1 minute gap after it broke out of the range to the downside. You shorted the retest for lower, correct?
Yeah, so it's coming to this 1 minute, but I didn't take it there. So I've come down and literally, I trade the macros from, it's 9:45 to 10:15. So on 9:43, it's come back in and tapped this mitigation block with a fair value gap, and then I've shorted this down for a 2-to-1, and it worked. Happy days for me. And then I called that sort of rough looking unicorn back up for another 2-to-1 on Friday. So that was the way I traded that. It swept out a lot of liquidity on that.
Fonzie, are you looking at my screen right now? You shorted this breaker right here?
For 2 seconds.
I'm assuming you did this, is what I'm looking at here. Right?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I took. Yeah, with the fair value gap inside.
So yours
were lower.
So you took a breaker setup. Actually, it was a unicorn breaker setup, and you were drawing into the unmitigated. Is this a higher time frame inverse? I don't know. I don't know what you were shorting into actually.
It was on Bookmap. Gaines called it out. There was loads of orders sat at like 23,602, I believe it was.
23,602. That's really down there. Okay, so I mean, I don't really necessarily hate the trade by all means, man. I think it's a good looking setup. You have a break of range. You have a sweep of liquidity to the upside, right? You even have another breaker up here too. There's a breaker here as well. Chat. I don't know if you guys see this, but
I mean, and there was a bag as well. So I thought, to me, that was my sort of one trade, and then I did try to do the other one, so I took 2 trades, and well, 3 trades because I stomped down the last one. But I like the look of that. That is my sort of go-to setup if there's obvious liquidity to go to. So yeah, breakaway gap, breaker block, obvious liquidity draw, and that works for me. A lot of the time I've been doing a lot of back testing, and I can't really find too much of a fault in it. It's either that or the mitigation block mixed with a fair value gap with obvious draws of liquidity for a 2-to-1 risk to reward. I do like 8 micros.
I actually really like this trade idea because you have an accumulation, manipulation, distribution set up here. So you accumulate, you manipulate, and then you distribute towards the lower end of it. And like on the 1 hour time frame, we're still we're still looking bearish from the day before. You know, because that 1 hour, that old 1 hour unmitigated, well, not unmitigated, but 1 hour fair value gap keeps holding price lower. So I actually really like this trade setup. So you have a 1 hour, you see this 1 hour gap here. I don't know if you can see it on my chart. That's the 1 hour gap that we actually shorted on Thursday. Market comes back up, touches it again, rejects it strongly, and then you have that clean breakout of those relative equal lows down here at Thursday, August 14th that it put in. So you do have decent draws too lower. And then actually just breaks below that low, retests it, and then never comes back above it. And then you get two clean breakers, one up here and one down here. So yeah, solid idea.
Sweet. Where do you reckon the market's going to go next week? I'm feeling like it's going to like 590, maybe not 590, 5600, in them equal lows. That's where I was planning on it to go next week, because there's just so much strong liquidity down there. Everyone was kind of looking for longs, but I just couldn't see on Friday at all for longs.
I don't really see. I mean, if this market did hold the 4 hour, is this a 4 hour gap or a 1 hour gap? Yeah, it's right at the bottom of this 1 hour FEG, and then it's right at the inverse that it flipped on the 4 hour. So this is an interesting zone for price, because we have that inverted fair value gap back from July 31st that it smashed through, and now we're back into it as an inverse. But I kind of do agree with you. I think that we could potentially take all this down here. There's a lot of liquidity still resting lower at like 600s, 500s. All this stuff could end up getting flipped. And if we start flipping this stuff aggressively, it's going to really dip, because the market has been making higher highs and lower highs right now, and it's been delivering out of each PD array. Like I said earlier, we're pulling back into higher time frame PD arrays, going higher, going higher, going higher. But now on the daily, I don't think, interesting zone, man. Interesting zone, because we have a daily order block right here now too. So the market could bounce from here, but if we get below this area, then it's going to be pretty interesting, because there's a lot of liquidity lower. But this area that we're in right now still has a little bit of, it's going to be still pretty difficult to get out of there.
Definitely, for sure, in a bit of a weird zone at the moment. I've noticed as well, it's kind of been chopping in between. I think it was like a 1 hour fair value gap, and I think it was a half an hour BPR. It was just kind of like chopping in a range for a lot of this week.
Yep, we'll see, man. We'll see. But good trade setup, bro. I like that. I like that idea. And you have to be fast with a trade setup like that too, because that happens like right at 9:30 is the first breaker, and then the second one happens at like 9:36. So you're gonna have to get those trades off like before that first 50-minute candle, which sometimes could be risky. But I actually, when it looks this obvious and you break out of a range that strongly and it has AMD properties, I don't mind taking those trades. Those are really, really fun trades to take, because they just rip straight to target.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think this trade was done within about 3 minutes, and that was happy days for me. So yeah, I like it. That's my sort of go-to at the moment. My sort of setup. Yeah.
Nice, bro. Nice. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Nice trade. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks for having me.
See you, Fonz. Yeah, that's a good little trade right there, chat. It's a quick trade. It has good properties. AMD model, right? Sweeps liquidity. Really nice candle closures on the 1 minute. Then you have an inverse, very strong breakout. Change in the state of delivery. So you have that breaker set up, and then you have breaker set up. Like it's a solid way to get yourself in the market early. And then after that, really there's no opportunities, I would say. I wouldn't probably be interested in any of this other crap over here. This is probably the best fluidity you get in that morning session. Hey, Kamika, how are you? PJ brother, this is a question for me. How long have you collected the backtest data for NQ like 2013, 2005? Is there any other benefit in doing so? I only do forward testing. Is it okay to do that? Collected the backtest data for NQ like 23, 25? I would go all the way back to like 2020, bro. 23 to... You don't have to go back to 2020. 23, I think 2022 maybe, just to get a little bit more fluidity with the different cycles and the presidency change, but I think you should be fine 23. How do you know if the market will be choppy or not? Let's say in the AM session. I don't know, man. I don't have a magic ball. I just literally read it as it's happening. I just read it as it's happening, bro. You never can predict the market. You just have to read it as it's happening in real time. If the market's going to be choppy, you're going to find out pretty quickly. Like if we're not breaking out of a range, if we're not sweeping liquidity early, like, you know, in the sessions, there's just, you know, there's a lot of factors that go into that answer. It's not just a one all, you know, it's not, there's no like magic ball for that one. It's just, you got to read it. You got to read if the market's going to be good or not. Solid setup though. This is a solid setup, yeah, for sure. Solid setup, chat. I totally missed that Thursday trade. Unfortunately, I'm gonna make sure I mark out my gaps like that because I didn't even see what you saw. That's why you're in the premium, Brady. You know, there's a lot of stuff you're missing, and that's the reason you're there, to make those, you know, to learn. So don't worry about it, man. If you didn't see it, you didn't see it. Again, you're the one operating your business, not me. Priority on trading off session key levels, equal highs, lows, or higher time frame FVGs. I know both together as the ideal, but which to prioritize? Man, I don't even know how to answer that one. I don't really prioritize them. I'm really trying to figure out how to answer this question. Priority on trading off session key levels, equal highs, lows, higher time frame for. Well, here's the thing. Equal highs and lows are usually draws on liquidity. Okay. And higher time frame fair value gaps are great to trade out of. So you kind of got that a little bit backwards. How do you qualify an A+ setup? Until what time it's for you the last time to search for a setup? My last trading macro is 1150 to 1210. An A+ setup has to have many factors. Delivery, price action, time, draws on liquidity are open, V-shape, inverses, breakers. Like, there's a lot that goes into an A+ setup to meet the criteria. Do you use any live backtesting? No. Live backtesting? This is backtesting basically, but oh, you mean like live backtesting? Like just letting it go and just marking up as it goes? Do I do it? I personally do not do it like anymore. I don't really need to, but I would recommend you guys do it for sure. And what it would look like is just literally as simple as this. Like you would literally just bring back select bar here, and you would just straight up let this play out. And as it's playing out, start to mark up setups. And that's literally all you would do. Can you go over this whole week trading setup? No. I already did that the entire session. You're a little late. You can rewatch the stream. What's the earliest time you would trade? 9:30? Like the earliest one? 9:30 would be the absolute earliest. I usually like to wait to 9:45 though, but 9:30 would be like 9:35 maybe, like something. If something slaps me in the face like this trade setup right here, I might be looking for this trade like right off the rip. Like this is a clean breaker with accumulation manipulation properties. Like that is very, very clean. And then you get a retest of this gap, and then you get another breaker. So like this is all happening within the first 15 minutes of open. Like there's 2 opportunities to really slam this market for short. So it depends, but the absolute earliest would be 9:30, which is super rare. TradeZella does have a good backtesting system, but you need the premium for that. And I recommend it, honestly. Really, really good software program. And if you don't know your data, man, you're not, you don't take this serious. If you don't know your journaling, you don't know any of that stuff, this is not really a profession for you. It's more of a hobby. You think you're going to get rich quick. If you don't know your stats, like if I ask you a question right now, you know the answer to it, I can already tell that where you are in your career. Like, hey, how does your current model perform at 1050 macro? What's the stats on it? When is your win rate the highest? At what hour? When's your win rate? When are you the weakest? Like what hours are you the weakest? Which days are you the most profitable? Which days are you not the most profitable? If you don't know any of this data, it's just a game for you. So if I were you, I would invest in a good journaling system. TradeZella is fantastic. And I would use my code. I think you get 20% off. You do get 20% off, but it's like a must. Seriously, a must. You need to know your data. You need to know your data points. You need to know when you're not trading the best. All this stuff can be tracked. Did I get good sleep? Did good sleep translate to good trading? Did I get no sleep? Did no sleep translate to bad trading? Was I, too early into the market today? There's so many factors and you need to know all this stuff. Are Mondays my worst days? Are Fridays my worst days? Is the inversion model performing better at this time? What's your data points is so important to your progression as a trader. You're gonna get to a point where you're like, what's going wrong here? Why am I not understanding this stuff? What's not clicking? Why am I not getting better? Because you don't know your data and you're not journaling your data and you're not screenshotting your trades. And you're not writing up why you're entering into trades. And you're not doing anything that a professional does. That's what's going to be holding you back. It's really a simple switch, but most people just don't want to do it. Like, I don't know if it's the money. I don't know if it's they're lazy. But at the end of the day, man, this is stuff that like you need to be doing. You're exposing people. I'm not exposing people. I'm just telling you the truth, man. I've done this. I've been here for a very long time. It's not my first day. It's not my first week. It's my 10th year. So like, take it from me. I didn't want to journal in the beginning. I didn't want to journal. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That's for losers. I was the loser, bro. I was the loser. Not journaling and not knowing your data. I was the loser. I didn't realize that. So don't be a loser. Don't keep putting money into the market and not know your data points and not know your stats. Just don't do that. Yeah, I love the Zello store. The Zello score is great. Do you do continuation ever or just inverse? I do continuations a lot, bro. I have a whole video on YouTube on that one called the continuation model. I love the continuation model. If you guys are not watching these videos, I mean, there's so many free friggin' videos in here, but yeah, we have the continuation model. It's somewhere in here. I think it's one of my most watched videos, actually. Yeah, it's this one right here. Watch this continuation model video. It's a great video. This setup right here is very similar to what a continuation model would look like. This one right here is very similar, right? Because you get the breakout and then you get the retouch of the fair value gap, and then you're just in the trade and you're targeting the lower liquidity draw. Very similar. Very, very similar. I went from a horrible win streak while not journaling to now passing accounts and onto my second payout while journaling. Don't take it from me, chat. Take it from this guy. Like, I'm telling you, it will change the way you trade. It'll change the way you approach the markets. And I personally take it as like a little bit of like a game. Like I like seeing my stats improved. I like seeing my win rates go higher. I like seeing my P&L go higher, obviously, but it's like a game for me, right? Like I'm like pushing myself to consistently get better stats. So like it's like kind of like a video game. Like I have a stat sheet and I want to improve that character. I want to improve the build. So I actually I like doing it. I like knowing the stuff and I like seeing it, you know, get better. Joey, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. PJ, do you have a trial for your premium? No, man. No. If this is not enough of a trial for you, bro, of what you're going to get inside the premium, I don't really know what to tell you. I will never do a premium trial. I don't think I need to even do that at this point. There's so much free stuff. Like I put up probably the most amount of free value that anybody does in the space. And I just don't need to have a premium. Listen, here's what you get. It's very simple. You get AM session trading with me. You get PM session trading with KWT. You get Bookmap. You don't get the Bookmap, but you get the knowledge of Bookmap live on the stream with our Bookmap specialist. You get 2 classes a month. Okay. You get giveaways pretty much every single week, literally every single week. You get my starter course, which breaks down how to set up your charts, how to draw fair value gaps, how to do all that stuff. And then you get literally premium education, which is uploaded like every single week, all in the premium education channel. So like, I don't really know. Like, I think honestly, the $100 is cheap, and that's what you get, man. And you get a whole trading community of people that are going to keep your ass accountable and not do dumb shit. So that's it. That's what you get. Thanks for the sauce. Always, man. Always. I'm glad to do it. Do you think gaming has positively impacted your approach to trading? No, I don't think it has any correlation, really. He's not lying. The premium channel is great. Free books, everything. Best Discord ever. It's worth more than $100 in my opinion. I honestly think it's worth 100. I think it's worth 200. It could be worth more than that. Somebody said the other day, he's like, PJ, you know, you could charge $100 for each thing you have in this Discord. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. Oh yeah, we do have I completely forget to mention that, guys, but in the free Discord, I literally have uploaded free books. Like these are thousands of dollars worth of free books in here. We have the Best Loser Wins on PDF. We have a cool PDF about the basics of trading on here. We have all these books, the Mental Game, the Discipline Trader, the Candlestick Course, Technical Analysis. Like, dude, there's like 30 books in here, all for free. So make sure you get your asses in there. I'm an example, 2 months into premium. Don't waste your money and eval, invest in learning. Yeah, guys, listen to me. I'm not even saying this to try to be like a salesman. I could care less if you join. Like, I really could care less. But stop investing money in the market. Stop investing money in evals. Invest your money in education. I wish I would have done that in my first 3-4 years of trading, because I put way too much money into the market and lost way too much money when that should have been going into education and a model first. There's nothing more rewarding in trading than knowing exactly what you're looking for and executing the trade because you know exactly what you're looking for. When you have that, it almost feels like a cheat code. So invest in education, dude. Invest. Stop investing in accounts. Stop investing money into the market. It's like your health, dude. Invest in your health, man. Health turns into wealth. Invest in your body. Invest in a trainer. Invest in the food you put in. That's going to turn you into a better human being, which in turn is going to turn you into making more money. So you guys have to look at this trading business. Honestly, trading is one of the few businesses where it requires you to become a better human being off the charts in order to be a successful trader on them. Not many jobs can say that, man. Most 9-to-5s, you can't, it doesn't matter. They just want you to show up and sit on a seat for 8 hours a day, and they pay you a paycheck and they fire you whenever they want. But in trading, you got to get better, man. You got to get better mentally. You got to get better emotionally. You got to get better physically. You gotta get better spiritually. Like, there is levels to the game. Did you guys incorporate book maps as Confluence this week for AM session? We literally, I think we implemented it this week. I can't remember if it was this week, chat, or last week that we started implementing bookmap into ICT concepts. And let me tell you, man, I'm very, very excited to continue to trade with it. Very, very excited. I think I'm personally trading some of the best of my entire career right now. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm trading in front of so many people, or it's the fact that I've just gotten a lot better over the course of 10 years, but right now it's like very, very solid. Like 13-week win streak, really solid reads, you know, just constantly milking prop firms, especially during the summer too. I can't wait for Q4. Like Q4 is going to be something else. I can't wait. It took me about 4 years, Andres. It took me 4 years, but I honestly think that I can turn people profitable in 6 months now. I think I can do it pretty fast. And I think eventually I will release some sort of mentorship, but it's going to take a while for me to build it, man, because I don't want it to be some crappy mentorship. It's got to be really, really worth it with a lot of education and honestly the right people. It won't just be for everybody. It'll be for specific individuals. Tell them about the PJ reads. they have to be in the Discord to know that, man. Hey Brooks, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. I honestly, I think my number one approach, and I think the reason why we've been so successful is I seriously like to see other people win. It's more rewarding for me to see other people win as I'm making money at the same time, and you know, investing in people's education has been such a rewarding experience for me. So I'm happy to be here and do it. Hey PJ, you think you can make a video on the best way to attack prop firms? I mean, dude, I don't even think I need to make a full video on that. If you're in the premium Discord, I pretty much lay it out every single day how to do it. But maybe I will make a video on how to attack prop firms. But also at the same time, I don't want to get in trouble with the prop firms. So I don't know if I would release that for free. Maybe it's more something I talk about in a private Discord. How did you meet Gaines and KWT? They just came through the Discord, man. I met them through the Discord. KWT was just really, really solid at reading. He was really, really well, versed in ICT concepts. He was very active in the community for many, 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 many months. And yeah, we turned him into the head trader there. And then Gaines was the same way, man. He turned into a moderator really fast. He was super active, answering people's questions. And then, we found out that he was a bookmap genius, and we brought him on board, bro. It just all through the community, dude. The community just brings in a lot of very, very smart people. So, yeah. Joe, have a great day. And Llama, yeah, Llama's hilarious, dude. He's cracking me up with these memes. These memes are so good. I love it, man. What did you do before trading 10 years ago? Oh man, a little bit of everything, dude. I've been a serial entrepreneur my whole life, bro. I've done everything you can think of, man. Just odds and end jobs, working for my dad, learning real estate, working with a moving company, doing real estate sales, doing moving sales. I mean, just all types of different stuff, bro. I've never had a 9-to-5 job, not once. The only job that was technically a job was when I worked at a liquor store. And I would restock the liquor cabinets and bring kegs to people's cars, but that wasn't a 9-to-5, it was a part-time job. So that's like the only thing that really actually legitimately was a job for me. I've always done my own thing. I've always built my own businesses and just went through life that way, bro. Just against the grain. I'm not like, people that know me in real life always say like, dude, you're just you're built differently. You're just a different human being. You're not like, I don't conform to what everyone's doing. I want to do my own stuff. I want to make my own path in life. And I just want to be like, I'm just wired differently. I think that comes from just having a dad that was a serial entrepreneur his whole life, like same way, you know? It's just the way I'm wired. What sites are in terms of trading goals as someone who's consistently profitable? What are my sites in trading goals? I mean, right now, man, it's my trading goals are honestly, like I just really said about the Trade Zella thing. Like, I just like to see my stats improve and me get better on my stats. That's kind of been my goal this year, is improve stats, improve P&L, improve, you know, all that stuff. As far as like monetary goals, I don't really set monetary goals. I used to do that, and I think it's pretty damaging. I really focus on what the charts are giving me, and the money comes with it. So, a trading perspective, man, the goal has always been freedom, being able to do whatever the heck I want when I want, and that's really the goal. That's always the goal, and always will be the goal, is the freedom of just continuing to, you know, get better and develop. That's an everyday thing, really. I don't know the suffering of a 9-to-5, no, and that's the reason why I never wanted to do it, bro. I never wanted to do it. Is it open chat and premium? Yeah, we have open chat and premium. Then we have casual chat too for premium. So we have, the Discord's very well put together. So you'll really like it. Hey, Ollie, I'll see you on the trading floor, man. Have a great Saturday. Any advice for holding longer? It's just, Jay, man, this is a common question. It's the draw and liquidity, bro. It's the draw and liquidity. It's the conviction in the draw and liquidity. It's really nothing complicated. It's the conviction in your draws. Like this trade right here we took on Thursday. The only thing that was so convicting for me to take this was the fact that we had clean draws on liquidity lower. I have a beautiful V-shaped recovery out of a bearish gap. I have the inverse, right? I have data wick highs being swept. Okay, both data wick highs are being swept. I forgot about that confluence. We have clean relative equal lows down here. Okay, and I have a 5-minute unmitigated gap down here. It just comes down to the draws on liquidity. When the draws are there, you need to know your draws. And if you get those correct, that's just going to allow you to hold trades longer. That's it. Literally, that's it. Get your draw right. Hold your trade to your draw. Have conviction. Yeah, no, I don't run any sales on premium, bro. Never, ever run another sale. People that got in at like $80, $85, that'll never happen again. I've proven myself in the industry at this point. I don't need to do it anymore. So it's only going to go up if it does for new people. So if you're going to get in, you got to get in now. Some of the guys that are doing Discord that have less stuff in their Discord are charging double. So, hey, Gordon, have a great weekend, brother. Let's go, man. Have a good weekend. We do need an opening bell, bro. We do. We do. Honestly, Jay, it could be a little difficult holding trades during Asia because of how slow the delivery is. That could be the kind of thing that's a little bit detrimental. Is I have traded Asia before, and I find it very hard to hold trades because, okay, for example, an AM session, like we might be able to hit a target in 20, 30 minutes for like 100 points. In the Asia session, it might take an hour, hour and a half. So I could see why it could be a little bit difficult. Like, for example, this trade delivers full TP in 20 minutes flat. If this was Asia, it could be an hour-long trade. You know what I mean? So it could be it could just be like kind of the mental capital you're putting into the market during Asia. Maybe that could be like the reason why it's kind of like hard for you to hold trades longer. So again, AM delivers the quickest. The New York session has the best delivery. Yeah, it was 80 at one point, Caesar. 80 and 85 at, when I lowered it. I didn't lower the price. We just did a sale in the beginning. Right now, the sale is 100. That is the sale. Basically. Yeah, CJ, that's what I'm talking about. A 30-point move took you an hour and some change. When in like AM session, a 30-point move takes literally like 5 minutes. So it's kind of hard, man. I kind of get it. I kind of get why it could be difficult to hold trades during Asia. It's just going to take longer. So that's probably why it gets a little bit difficult for you to sit there and watch it. Because I personally hate sitting and watching. Like my average trade time, like it's pretty fast, dude. It's like in the 9 minutes. But that's kind of skewed because we do take a good amount of break-even trades. So it's a little bit skewed, I would say. Yeah, I don't know if that stat's actually even going to be accurate for us. Like my average trade time is definitely not only 7-8 minutes. It's probably longer than that, but because we take break-evens earlier in trades a lot, that definitely messes up with the data. How long have we been on today, man? Oh, an hour and a half. All right, cool. Cool. We're almost at 200 likes, chat. Almost at 200 likes. Let's see if we get 200 likes on today's session. That'd be awesome. 200 likes. I'm trying to build up the YouTube community, man. So anything helps. Did you take a trade Friday? No, I didn't. I wasn't even trading Friday. I was off. Friday was my my day off. Does KWT say the setups still hold and are good for PM session? Yes. I mean, the trade setups literally work in every single session. It's the delivery that's different in every single session, though. Caesar, you got to work on your psychology, bro. You'll get there, man. You'll get there. It's 90% psychology, bro. 90% psychology. If you can crack the psychological part of trading, which is what 98% of people can't do, you'll kind of slowly position yourself to be in the 2% of profitable traders. But the psychology part's hard, man. It's hard. You got to stick to your rules. You got to stop playing tricks on your brain that setups are there when they're not there. You got to stop overstaying your visit with the market. Don't engage with the market every single day. Stick to your rules. One winning trade, I'm done. 1 win, 1 loss, I'm done. 0-2, I'm done. Those are my rules, man. Very simple, and I don't break them. That's it. On Thursday, we took a losing trade and a break-even trade, so that does still give me 1 more trade for the day. And then that third trade was a 98-point winner. So we took a minus 10 points trade, a break-even trade, and a 98-point winner. So stick to your rules, dude. Yeah, you can only like it once, by the way, Scalp. That's what's annoying about YouTube. It's annoying. We're at 198 likes. Oh my god, we need 2 more likes, chat. Please, 2 more likes. 2 more likes. Abel, go have a great day, man. I'm about to call it in a little bit too. What copy trader do you use? I use Tradeovate, bro. I use Tradeovate. Tradeovate's my copy trader for that specific firm of the week. For the last several weeks, though, my main firm has been Take Profit Trader. If you guys are not getting that Take Profit Trader discount, you need to lock it in because I think it ends tomorrow. That's one of the best discounts in the entire industry right now. The 40% off sale, no activation fee, and they refund you your initial eval cost on your first payout. So that, you definitely should be locking those accounts in before tomorrow. I just noticed somebody's playing a video game I love to play in my Discord. I just messaged them. I'm like, yo, want to play? How often do firms do deals? Firms do deals very often, but this is the only time I've ever seen TPT do this one. I don't think you're going to see this one again for a very long time. So, yeah. Take Profit Trader, guys. TPT. If you go to my Discord, go to prop firms. I have all the best prop firms listed there with their sales. You guys can get all the information there in my free Discord. We have all the TPT sales, prices, discounts that I recommend working with to getting good, setting up your prop firm business. That's another thing that I forget to mention. I teach people how to build your prop firm business. That is literally a billion-dollar industry right now. And if you could just take a small piece of the prop firm business, you will be a very wealthy individual. Or not even wealthy, bro. You could just have a great side income off of prop firms. An extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month on top of whatever you're doing. I mean, if you go into my Discord and you look at some of the testimonials and profit and loss channels, dude, we got people making insane money. Like, look at this guy, Calamite, right? Second ever payout ever. He just got another $1,000 payout. I mean, just look at all the reviews. It's like, there's so many of them. Here's another guy right here. Congrats on passing. This guy made $10,000 in one day. Yeah, we just have insane amount of testimonials. I can't even get a chance to go through all these. Here's a $2,000 payout. Here is another payout. There's so many payouts in here. I can't even go through them all. Live gaming. Dude, I tried Battlefield 6 yesterday, beta. It's pretty solid. It's a little clunky, but it's solid. TPT is the hardest thing for me to pass. Why? You think it's because of the intraday trailing? Hi from Colombia. I'm actually going to Colombia in next year for a wedding. My first time. Kind of excited about it. Oh yeah, guys. Also, listen, I completely forgot too. We are running an insane trading giveaway right now. We're literally giving away. We are giving away a. Let me switch over to Discord real quick. We're giving away an entire trading setup. So all you gotta do is buy an account in August with Alpha Futures using code PJ, and you'll be entered automatically to win a brand new PC, laptop, and monitor. So it's like a 2,000 plus setup. So all you gotta do is buy one account. Even if you want to buy the cheapest account on Alpha, you're entered in. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, and you gotta follow Alpha Futures on Discord. But this goes the entire month of August, so get yourself an entry at least, because I would love to see somebody from the premium win this thing. Oh, and for people that are interested in what the premium ends up looking like, here's the premium Discord right here on the left side. We have a start here channel, which explains everything that you need to do to start to get comfortable in the Discord. The starter course, right? And then all the premium education videos you need to watch. Then our stream schedule gets posted every single week. And then we have the live trading floor here. And then we have premium chat, we have casual chat, we have the commentary section where I make commentary, we have trade reviews, which are all trade reviews every single week. Premium education channel, which is full of education. Live stream recordings from premium sessions, only exclusive to premium members. We have a live news feed, so you get automatic news automatically, literally like within seconds from all the top Twitter channels. So this is all built into the Discord. We have KWT's trading section here. We have a premium support channel, which you can ask away on questions on prop firms and stuff like that and get answered by mods. Then we have the live trading floor, the premium voice, and then a bunch of other stuff in here. So a lot of stuff in the cord, bro. A lot of stuff in the cord. A lot of stuff in the cord. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a day, man. It's been a WWW free Saturday morning session, man. A lot of value that we were able to give out here in the community. And I'm happy to just always do it. So thank you guys so much. Again, follow the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've got some great content coming out next week. We got the Vegas vlog coming next. We got a bunch of trading reviews that we filmed that are coming next. So we've got a bunch of great content for the YouTube channel. And I'm so close to 8,000 subs, man. I'm so close. So maybe if you're in my 8,000 sub, you'll win a free account. So we're getting up there. Thank you guys so much for the day, man. Have a great, blessed one, man. I'll see you guys on the trading floor, man. Have a great day. Peace.